Here's the video preview for Sunday, July 7th. We'll be talking about James 1:17, which is the verse about every good and perfect gift comes from the Father above. So this is not necessarily a Bible story, but it's more talking about a verse and the idea of God's goodness and the good things in life that come from Him. First activity is goodness gauge. So you have masking tape and a permanent marker, or just any marker should do. And then what you're going to do is tape the masking tape on the floor. At one end, in the middle, you're going to write good. At one end, you'll write best, and at the other end, you'll write okay. So if you can imagine, you have your tape and then okay, good, and best. So it's basically kind of a spectrum or a scale. And then you go through the list of things here, and it's a made to move activity. So as you read through these things, the kids in your group will go stand on the tape based on how good those things are. If it's just okay, if it's good, or if it's the best thing ever. And then the discussion here kind of talks about our idea of good can be a little bit subjective, and it's not always the same idea as God's good. But there's a lot of good stuff there in that discussion as we talk to the kids about what goodness really is and what it means to think about God's goodness. Next activity is a made to connect activity, so it's very discussion based. No supplies needed. Start off by having the kids sit in a circle, and then the first kid is going to say a gift that he has received. The kid to his left, as you're going around the circle, says a gift he has received, but it has to start with the last letter of the previous kid's gift. And they can use adjectives if they wish, as you'll see here in just a moment. So you can continue around the circle and see how long you can keep it going. It says here, if you want to do it picnic style, going on a picnic style, where each kid has to repeat everyone else's response before they say their own, you can do that. I was also going to say, if your group is a younger group, you don't have to do this rule where the letter thing, okay? You can just do it picnic style, where the kids have to try to remember what everyone else who has gone before them has shared. But if you do want to do the letter style, here's how it might go. A kid might say, Kyle got a dog, G. Greg got a gold necklace, and then E. Terrence got an Easter bunny treat, and I got a ticket to the basketball game. So that's kind of how the pattern works. After you play a couple rounds in that basic introductory style, transition to a more open-ended style of kids sharing what we call a glory sighting, the time when they saw God at work in something throughout their day. It could be a special experience they had, a moment with a friend or family member that was endearing, a prayer that they felt was answered, the time when they were afraid but felt protected, etc. And then, of course, with these glory sightings, the responses should not be based on the first, last letters in the previous version of the game. Keep that more open-ended, and just try to make it a safe place for kids to talk about those things. We want kids to talk about them. We want to make it easy in the group dynamic for kids to share about a time when they felt God was at work in their life. And then, of course, there's the discussion part there. Last activity is the gift box brigade. So you're going to divide your group into two teams. So here's a set of gift boxes that have the blue dot. Here's a set that have the pink dot. And you want to have each bucket at one end of the room. So that bucket's over there, that bucket's over there. And then your group is going to line up in front of their bucket. And then the first kid in the group is going to take a gift out and then hand it to the next kid, and then so on all the way down the line. When it gets to the back of the line, that kid will open up the gift box and we'll take out the verse phrase. So this one here says, is from God. Okay, so then he'll run this verse phrase back up, set it on the floor or the table next to the bucket, get another box. That kid is now first in line, so he'll get another box, and then pass that box all the way down the line. When it gets to the back of the line, a new kid, then the first round, then that kid will repeat, take the slip out, go, and then he'll place it respective to this one. Whichever one has been put there before, then that kid will have to decide if it comes before, after, or so on. So as they go through the line, kind of sliding back, dropping back in number, because it's not going to always be the same kid at the front of the line. It's not always going to be the same kid at the back of the line. But as they're running up and putting their verse pieces, they should be putting those verse pieces in order. So hopefully that makes sense. So it's kind of a competitive activity there. The gift box brigade, and then of course there's the discussion part there. But that verse is the James 1:17 verse that the message is based on. So hopefully that all makes sense to you. It should be a pretty fun activity, or group of activities here for small group. So thanks a lot for serving.